the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
For breaking news, as I can say, defense minister ID is say ono and I come nipa kase print Crashed course no chopa na kokko premier nipa woman say na Murtala Muhammed nso so ka ho any defense minister omane bo amape Murtala Muhammed ono so parliament or MP ono so say na oka ho we chief of staff Julius Debra and ababe press conference see a live press conference I also say Murtala Muhammed so na oka ho ana afi so no ye suggest for nti omane boama Murtala Muhammed ana 6 others nti ka ho ama omoye enipa mako 8 ana sa chopa ye kopim ye nam so mani pe wi e ka sa mpanyefo mi na omudi mu na omoka ho atifo akoye arahosam mumenkunkutie NTA a report na eba mo mi team asese sorry
Dr. Edward Kofi Omane-Boama, Minister for Defense. Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Muhammed, MP, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. Alhaji Muniru Muhammad Lemonad, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator and former Minister for Food and Agriculture. Dr. Samuel Sapon, Vice Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, and Mr. Samuel Obuase, a former parliamentary candidate. Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, Flying Officer Manin Chum Ampedu, and Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah. The President and government extends our condolences and sympathies to the families of our comrades and the servicemen who died in service to the country.
Right, so those were names of the deceased in that tragic accident. For the sake of our viewers, I mean, clearly a few names jump at us, but for the sake of our viewers, let's play it back one more time so that they can know and appreciate who the government officials were and who the servicemen also were. So let's play it back again. Right. So we'll bring it to you so that we
there's
know.
Dr. Edward Omane-Boama, Minister for Defense. Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Mohammed Murtala, Minister for Environment, Science, Technology, and Innovation, who's also MP for Tamale Central.
I think now science, technology and innovation have gone to communications.
Okay, science, technology.
Environment.
Environment. Then Dr. Muniru Mohammed Limuna, who is the Acting
Deputy National Security Coordinator.
He was a Minister of Agric under the first term of Mahama. Dr. Samuel Sapon is a Vice Chairman of the NDC. I believe he's a former Regional Minister for the Ashanti region. And then there was one Mr. Obuase, who's a former parliamentary candidate. I believe the name is not clear. And then there were also 3 servicemen of the armed forces whose names were also put out there. This is really grim because it is very clear there were no survivors. He mentioned 8 names. You did read that there were 3 crew,
5 passengers.
So all 8 did not survive. He did not give details on the nature of the crash. He just mentioned the location, which we'll be crossing over to shortly. He also did not mention the time. You can tell that the level of shock and grief that has greeted this news. And for the fact that it was the Chief of Staff that had to read it, this is a national tragedy of monumental proportions. To lose 8 people working for the state on the same day at the same time, it's very, very serious. 8 people who were essentially on a national assignment. This is critical. They were on a national assignment. It is tough to take, very, very tough to take. Also, a fact that a lot of them were still young family people, very, very tragic indeed. And also the fact that they were visible people. I was at an event yesterday and actually saw and spoke to the defense minister. I told you we were at the vaccine event, sorry, the health event. So I actually...
Africa Health Sovereignty.
Because don't forget, he's a doctor.
Yes.
And so even though it was not a defense program, he was actually there.
Because he's a medical person.
Yes. So he was actually on the front row with high-ranking government officials, right, including the Deputy Chief of Staff and co. So he was home, you can tell, because these are health people. We have interviewed Murtala many times. His ministry was the ministry that was the custodian of the LI 2462.
Yeah.
So whatever Parliament would do on that LI had to do with him as well. And Dr. Limuna, quite jovial man, who's worked as a Minister of Agriculture under Mahama and also now Deputy National Security Coordinator, is quite known as well, as is Samuel Sapong.
Yeah.
So Samuel Sapong was
Vice Chair of the NDC.
But I believe he was either
former
Ashanti Minister in the Mahama's first term. And then the three servicemen who died, their names have also been put out. We will get the full clarity on this for viewers. But it's aptly been described as a national tragedy. Yeah. And you can also understand why no questions were taken, because the information has to, you know, this is the tragedy of working for your country, that because you are such a high-profile public figure, your demise cannot actually even be kept. Yeah. You know, because if any regular person dies, it's easier to manage the information for their families. But we really hope the families have been informed and that they have sort of been properly managed before this was put out.
I suspect this must have accounted for the delay, because from the communication we received from our correspondent at the presidency, the press briefing was an emergency and it sounded quite urgent. However, we can understand the protocols that will have to be at play before such a communication is put out there. So I'm sure the presidency was engaging the families of all these deceased persons, if you like, see some sort of clearance before coming out to make such a formal communication to the nation. Because mind you, they belong to the family, but they serve the nation, and so to an extent they belong to the nation as well. And as the Chief of Staff described it, a national tragedy.
It's of monumental proportions. I don't know how else to describe this. I don't know the last time this country had 2 ministers of state, cabinet ministers, Deputy National Security Coordinator, a former minister. I mean, this is
So let's go through the names again.
This is heavy.
Dr. Edward Omane-Boamah, Minister for Defense. Alhaji Dr. Murtala Muhammed, MP Tamale Central, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. Alhaji Muniru Muhammad, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator. Dr. Samuel Sapong, Vice Chairman of the NDC. Samuel Obuase, a former parliamentary candidate. Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala. Flying Officer Menin Chum Ampedu. And you have Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah. So these are the 8 names as confirmed by the Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, as having been on board that Z9 helicopter of the Ghana Armed Forces, which were told to have gone off radar earlier per the statement by the Ghana Armed Forces. Our suspicions, our fears, confirmed by the Chief of Staff that unfortunately, all 8 persons aboard the aircraft have passed on.
We will be waiting for information on the possible cause of the crash, information on where exactly they were going, although we believe it was related to the event in Obuase. Because as you've said, Adansi Akrofo is not too far from Obuase itself. It's in the same area. And also what this means going forward for a lot of things. Don't forget that in the past 2 weeks, the Minister of Defense addressed the press and spoke about the state of the presidential jet aircraft, which had been grounded for repairs
in France.
And that had led to a bit of controversy in Parliament when he spoke at the government communications series. So there's a lot of different things to be digested. But for now, the main concern is the utter sad news of the death of 8 Ghanaians, 3 serving officers of the Ghana Air Force of different ranks, 2 ministers of state, high-level minister of defense and minister for environment, and then a deputy national security coordinator, as well as a former Ashanti regional minister, plus a former parliamentary candidate. So this is really tragic, and we are taking pains to just work through the utter devastation this would cause in various quarters. Don't forget, Dr. Mani Boama was the director of NDC elections and research. He was indeed the minister for the sector that Murtala is now minister. So in the Mahama first term, Mani Boama became a deputy minister for environment and later became the environment minister in the Mahama first term, before now becoming the defense minister. Murtala himself was initially MP for Nanton, lost, and then came back. I think we can cross over to the Jubilee House. Akosia Otre is with us.
Hello, Akosia. Hello, Akosia.
Hello, I can hear you.
Right, very well. Quite an unfortunate.
Hello, I can hear you. Quite
an unfortunate incident, and we can all tell that there's still some level of shock within the presidency. We can deduce also the importance the presidency attaches to this incident, for which reason no other person than the chief of staff was the one who broke the unfortunate news. But describe to us the mood within the presidency now. We are aware that some programs of the president had to be cancelled abruptly as a result of this unfortunate development.
Nana rightly said, goosebumps all over me. That should tell you the mood here as government officials trooped in here at one of the auditoriums where we usually hold our press conferences, as they trooped in here to give us this news of the demise of these top government officials. In fact, today the president was supposed to be at 2 major events. The first one, he was supposed to be in the Ashanti region together with the lands minister to engage in that program that we earlier saw, but we understand that he delegated some key government officials, including the defense minister, to be at that event. At 12 o'clock, the press team, together with the president, was supposed to be in the central region for an Assemblies of God event, but we got that timely notice that the president has cancelled that event. That was prior to the press conference that happened a few minutes ago, and we got the news of the demise of these top government officials. The mood here is sad. The president himself was not here. We saw the vice president, who happens to be the head of the Armed Forces Council, who was here together with the president's right-hand man, the Chief of Staff, Julius Dead, together with some key ministers who were also here. Now, let me say that these individuals who passed yesterday, there was an event held at Kempinski that is related to the health sector. The president was there, and I personally saw a few of these ministers who have passed on. I saw Dr. Edward Mani Boama, in fact, engaged with him on a few things, and he had even said that he was going to travel out of the country on official duties to Egypt. And then I also saw Murtala Muhammed. And so this news was coming as a shock, not just to me, but to the government machinery who came here to give this news earlier. Nana.
Akusa, this is Bernard. So can we confirm that they were indeed going for the event at the Lenkley Stadium, the mining event at which the Ashanti regional minister and the lands minister were at? Because we're told that the incident occurred in the Adansi area. This is what Chief of Staff said. So can we confirm that they were actually going for that particular event, Akusia?